Hello, friends. If you own a mobile home and you're 65 or older, laws passed this summer just unlocked thousands of dollars for you. Repair money, property tax breaks, even help paying your lot rent. I'm walking you through 6 of them today, and stay with me until number 6, because that's the one benefit almost every mobile homeowner swears doesn't exist, and most people get it completely backwards. Number 1. Emergency repair and storm hardening money that just opened up. On July 1st, Florida's Senate Bill 594 took effect, and it unlocked $167 million in state housing funds for mobile and manufactured homeowners. This runs through the SHIP program, the State Housing Initiatives Partnership, and until this summer, most of that money was fenced off from people like you. The old law capped manufactured housing at 20% of each county's funds. That cap is now gone. Under the new law, roughly 75% of a county's annual SHIP allocation, typically $1 million to $1.5 million per county, can go to mobile homeowners for emergency repairs and storm hardening retrofits. That means a failing roof, tie-downs and straps before hurricane season skirting, or the air conditioner that died in the middle of August. The application portal opens this coming Monday, August 10th. And here's the mistake that costs people the most: waiting. In most counties, SHIP money moves on a first-come, first-served basis. And when the year's allocation is spent, the office stops taking applications until the next cycle. The retiree who applies in August gets the new roof. The neighbor who means to get around to it in November gets a waiting list. If you're not in Florida, do not click away. Nearly every state runs county-level home repair assistance through its housing department, and many of those programs cover manufactured homes. Most owners simply never ask. One phone call to your county housing office. Do you have repair assistance that covers manufactured homes, and is the application open? Is worth thousands of dollars this year. Number 2. The property tax exemption most mobile homeowners never file. Here's the trap. Millions of manufactured homeowners assume senior property tax breaks are only for site-built houses, because their home is titled like a vehicle and they pay an annual fee instead of a traditional tax bill. So they never apply for the senior exemption their county already offers. And depending on the state, that single skipped form costs hundreds to thousands of dollars every year, year after year. In states that tax your manufactured home as property, senior exemptions apply to it the same way they apply to a regular house, if you meet the age, income, and residency tests, and if you actually file. And 2026 is the year to recheck, because income limits went up in many of these programs. If you were rejected 3 years ago, you may qualify today under the new limits. Look at New York. The state just raised its senior citizen homeowners exemption to 65% for tax years starting January 1st, 2026, worth about $300 a year on average for homeowners 65 and older in the localities that adopt it. And Kiplinger reports that in some states, senior property tax relief in 2026 is worth up to $6,500. Now the mechanics, because this is where the money is lost. These exemptions are almost never automatic. Nobody at the assessor's office is scanning the rolls looking for seniors to help. You file the form. In some counties you refile each year, and the reduction appears on your next bill. And if you own both the home and the land, ask the assessor to check every parcel in your name. People routinely file for one and forget the other. 10 minutes at the county assessor's office. One form. It pays you back every year for the rest of your life. Number 3. You may now be able to turn your mobile home into real property on paper, and that changes what it's worth. Most manufactured homes in America are titled as personal property, legally closer to a truck than to a house. That's why so many owners got stuck with chattel loans, the personal property financing that typically carries higher interest rates and fewer protections than a standard mortgage. New York just changed that. A new state law lets manufactured homes qualify as real property, opening the door to conventional mortgage financing and agency-backed loans, and housing analysts expect other states to watch closely. Now, why does this matter if you're 70 and your home is paid off? 3 reasons, each with dollars attached. First, resale. A home that a buyer can finance with a normal mortgage sells to a far bigger pool of buyers, and a bigger pool of buyers means a better price. That is equity you did not have before this law. Second, borrowing. If you ever need money for a major repair, real property status can move you from a high-rate personal loan into a standard, cheaper home loan. Third, Protection. Real property comes with foreclosure safeguards, notice periods, and homestead rights that personal property often doesn't get. The common error is assuming this conversion happens automatically. It does not. Where conversion is allowed, you generally have to retire the vehicle-style title and record the home with the county, and it usually requires owning your land or holding a qualifying long-term lease. One call to your county recorder's office answers two questions. Does my state allow the conversion, and what paperwork does it take? Ask both this week. Quick reminder, number 6 is still coming. The lot rent benefit most owners insist cannot possibly be real. Don't leave before you hear it. Number 4, new rights for the moment the park turns against you. If you live in a manufactured home community, your biggest financial risk usually isn't the home. It's the land under it, because someone else owns it. In May, the Michigan Senate passed a bipartisan package described as the biggest update to that state's mobile home laws in nearly 40 years, aimed at exactly this risk. One bill in the package, Senate Bill 936, says that a resident facing eviction gets a choice: sell the home right where it sits, on its lot, or hire a realtor to sell it. And if the park ends up taking the home, the resident must be paid what it's worth, minus anything they owe. Understand why that matters. Today, in much of the country, a senior who gets an eviction notice panics and simply walks away from the home, handing the park tens of thousands of dollars in equity for free because they didn't know they had the right to sell. That is the typical mistake: abandoning the unit. Your home has value even when your lease is ending, and walking away is a donation to the park owner. Now, to be precise, the Michigan package has passed the state Senate. It is not yet law everywhere, and your state's rules differ, but most states already have a manufactured housing residency law with protections owners never read. California's mobile home residency law is a well-known example. So here's the move. Before you sign anything a park manager hands you, a new lease, a rent increase, anything about relocation, look up your state's mobile home residency law, and if there's pressure, call your local legal aid office. That call is free, and it has saved people entire homes. Number 5. The biggest federal housing law in decades just took effect, and it quietly rewrites the definition of your home. On July 11th, the 21st Century Road to Housing Act became law. And here's a detail you'll like. It became law without the president's signature. Congress passed it by such overwhelming margins, 85-5 in the Senate, 358-32 in the House, that it went onto the books on its own when the White House declined to either sign or veto it. Buried inside is the change that matters to you. For the first time in 50 years, a manufactured home no longer has to be built on a permanent steel chassis. That steel frame, the one under your home right now, adds $5,000 to $10,000 to the cost of every unit, according to the Niskanen Center. Removing it means cheaper, better designed homes are coming. If you've been thinking about replacing an aging unit or downsizing, the next generation of manufactured homes could cost $5,000 to $10,000 less. That's real money for a buyer on Social Security. 2 honest cautions so you don't get burned. First, timing. HUD still has to write the standards, and states have to certify equal treatment before chassis-free homes can be sold, so this is coming, not here. Second, scams. When a law makes headlines, salespeople follow. Anyone taking deposits today on a 2 federal chassis-free home is ahead of the rules. Keep your checkbook closed until HUD finishes its work. Nothing to file on this one. Just know the timeline, because sellers are counting on you not knowing it. And now, number 6. The one people get completely backwards. Tell the average mobile homeowner, the government can help pay your lot rent, and they'll politely tell you no such program exists. And honestly, until this summer, they were mostly right, because lot rent lived in a gap. You own the home, so renter assistance programs turned you away. You rent the land, so homeowner programs didn't fit either. Millions of seniors sat in that gap for decades. Florida's new law closes it, in writing. Senate Bill 594 explicitly lists lot rental assistance as an approved homeownership activity under SHIP. The state can now pay up to the equivalent of 6 months of your lot rent. Run the numbers on your own lot. If you pay $600 a month, 6 months is $3,600. If you pay $900, it's $5,400. That is not a coupon. For a senior on a fixed income, That's several months of breathing room. Now the mistake that wrecks this benefit? Silence. Seniors who fall behind on lot rent tend to say nothing, out of pride, until the eviction notice is on the door, and by then the options have collapsed. Assistance works before the crisis, not after it. If money is tight, ask when you're 1 month behind, not 4. And if you're outside Florida, the question still costs nothing. County housing offices administer these funds locally. Rules are being rewritten this year, and the only people who benefit are the ones who ask. So here's the picture. Repair money is open, tax limits went up, titling rules changed, and for the first time, lot rent itself is on the table. The action step this week is one phone call. Your county housing office. Ask about manufactured home repair assistance and lot rent assistance in that order. Subscribe so you find out in time, and share this with someone in a mobile home park. This money never waits.